Let's make sure you get that song. Hi everyone, you all know who I am. I'm Lynn Rosen. I'm at Library Way. Voila, Library Way. Voila, across the street, New York Public Libraries. Well, I want to tell you something about these people. They're closing the libraries because, I'm not even going to say his name, but everybody knows the love of my life is not our mayor, to real estate developers so that they can get money for the land. What's happening to that money, Mayor Mike? What are you doing with that money? What are you doing with our tourism dollars? Okay, this video is not about you. It is about closing libraries. It is about hurting children. When you close a library, you are closing a human mind. How dare you? We don't close a human mind. We open minds, we develop them. Our children are our leaders of tomorrow. Well, Mr. Rights, and here he is. Wake up, Mr. Oshry. I need the action figure. He's supposed to be a man of action. All my life, I've been looking for Mr. Rights, and they've always been Mr. Wrong. But this Mr. Rights is a Mr. Rights who's going to show us and take us to many different features, and one of them has to do with closing libraries. How can you close a library? So on October 13th, we have Hands Across the Sea Saving New York Libraries. Now, if you look across the street, it's NYPL, New York Public Library. They will tell you that they're not responsible for closing the libraries. Shame on them. Because to be perfectly honest with you, somebody has to stop this. And Citizens Defending Libraries, my friend Carolyn McIntyre and Michael White started this wonderful group. And what they're there for is to stop the closing of libraries, because what kind of people are you if you're closing New York libraries? Now, we just came, Ashley and I, we're going to make this a dual video. Ashley and I just came from the Morocco Embassy. What a crock of crap that was. Forgive my language, okay? Forgive me. They're telling me that the last time I was at the wrong place. Well, the last time the guy was too busy looking at what I was wearing on top. Then he was looking at me. This time I talked to a woman who all of a sudden was writing down the name Hassan Morabidi. The other gentleman, they never knew his name because they were too busy looking at what I was wearing. In other words, they were into body, they weren't into mind. This time I got a woman, and that's why Lynn says, and Asa, you know this, God created Adam first, realized his mistakes, and then there was Eve. Now, if a man's going to look at what I'm wearing and he doesn't do anything for me, then what's the point? The point is that I got them to know who Hassan Morabidi is. I was at the Sierra Leone. Hello, Alicine. How are you, Alu? I was there this morning. They greeted me with open arms because by now I have become nothing but a nuisance to them. And they're going to help us in any way that they can. They were wonderful. I've been at so many embassies. I was at the Bangladesh. Hello, Hasnain. I was at the Bangladesh embassy today, and they were wonderful. Next week, we have, which will be an embassy that will touch my heart the most, will be the embassy in India, because my two mentors, and I'm going to try not to cry, Vinod Badhanka and Saduka Malpi are from India. And Saduka, when I speak about you, I could cry because you've done so much from behind the scenes. If you know anybody at the embassy, please let me know, because I will be there. Next week up, we have Azerbaijan, India, and we're going to be visiting all these embassies to tell them what all of you are doing in Lynn's Kids. And you know what? They should know, and they should be proud of each and every one of you. Morocco, when I walked in there, I walked in with an attitude, and I thought Ashley was going to have to prepare bail. But by the time they listened to me talk about the great Hassan Lee, and I showed them the books that we've written, and I gave them an idea of what we're doing in Morocco, I think that they will be there when we have the opening dinner for Hassan. And they will have the person who's in charge call me, and I hope it's not a man, because men are only interested in one thing. And Ashley is smiling because she knows that's true. So next week we do India, Azerbaijan, and any other embassy, Cameroon definitely, and the most important embassy to me next week is my Rafi in Somalia. It's just on the other side of town, so I didn't get there. With each embassy, I prepare a bag. And in that bag, there's information about Lynn's Kids, the projects we're doing in New York, and the projects that we're doing in your country. For India, I will have some information on Setu. I certainly will have the great Badhanka. Hello, Vinod. Namaste, Vinod. And I will have information on Saduka, my Saduka. So Saduka, if you're afraid to come to the United States to meet me, don't worry, I'll get there if I have to walk to meet you. So I am telling all these different embassies about the wonderful things that you're doing in your countries. And now it's time for you to promote your countries too. LKI New York is my best chapter because all of my people, like Ashley, like Kimberly, like Allison, and everybody else that's involved with LKI NYC is doing a fabulous job. The person I have to thank the most for LKI NYC is my brother, Sadiq Roy. Now I'll start to cry. Sadiq has been such an inspiration to LKI NYC. He's done so much for me. And I met Sadiq because he stood up to say that he was from Sierra Leone and talk about getting books for New York. And I attacked him and I said to him, Mr. Sadiq, what are you doing for the children from Sierra Leone? Shame on you. And I had, of course, the Lynn Rosen attitude. Called me into a room. I thought he was going to attack me. But instead he said to me, well, what can I do for Sierra Leone? Which was just such a wonderful thing to me because he really gave it to him. And that's what people like that. Sadiq has taken Lynn's kids into UN coalitions and into wonderful things. So I owe a lot, and we all owe a lot to Sadiq. So all I can say to all of you is I love you all. It started out with one camp. Thank you, Alice. Mission might not have wound up the way you wanted it to, but I don't play. I deal with people who are dealing from the heart and who want Lynn, not for what she can give them. Vinu, you're a tremendous inspiration to me with LKI and your attitude of, you can do it. And then, of course, there's Saduka, who when Vinu was too busy, we all know that Dr. V is always too busy. Saduka, you took over and you were so much more gentle than he was, and you were just the most absolutely amazing mentor that anybody could have. And Saduka, if I ever get to meet you, it will be the most meaningful day in my life. Now, the last thank you I have to say is to my friend, my co-writer, Hassan Lee. Hassan Lee has been there for me 100% of the way as far as writing goes, as far as planning goes, as far as talking goes. And yes, he's not the easiest person to work with. And you know, Hassan Lee, that's true. But he has done tremendous work in Morocco with his kids. And I will be honored having Hassan Lee visit New York because we have a lot to do with LKI. Sadiq wants to meet him, and so does everybody else. So Hassan Lee soon. Inshallah, Hassan Lee, inshallah. Okay, everybody else, get ready for October 13th, and by the end of the day, I want something written to me about what you're doing on October 13th. It's Hands Across the Sea, saving New York libraries. New York can't seem to save it. Let's have third world nations save it, because New York is worse than any third world nation. I love you all. I'll speak to you soon. Bye.